Peace around everyone, and welcome to your new moon, reading for Scorpio. I am going to be doing a Scorpio season, but right now these energies are just so aligned that I said, let me do the new moon first, and then I will head on over to the Scorpio season. Happy Scorpio season to all the Scorpios out there. How are y'all doing? What's going on with you guys? You know what I'm saying? Happy flight day. Happy solar return, right? Happy born day. Happy birthday. Happy everything, okay? You got the whole season, okay? Get you in the power. You got the power, all right? And boy, y'all coming in okay? So right now we got the new moon, which basically means the sun and the moon are together, okay? They're like, hey. The other one's like, hey. And like, how you doing? Like, good. How you doing? Like, fine. You know what I mean? What's around type of deal. And they're both in Scorpio, okay? And this is 2 degrees, both of them. Okay? And not only that, they are visited by Venus. Venus is also conjuncted and like, hey, what's going on over here? What y'all valuing over here? What y'all be appreciating over here? You know what I'm saying? What you doing? What you doing to get that appreciation, that love? And then Scorpio moon and Scorpio sun over here, like we are both in alignment. So right now we talking about what we need to get rid of. Okay, that's what they saying. And meanwhile, Venus is like, okay, I feel you on that, because I know when I be trying to do stuff, you know, I gotta get rid of things that and protect what, you know, what I appreciate, what I love. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, Scorpio. I get it. And we just came out of Libra season, which is a Venus sign. And right now, since the sun is still 2 degrees Scorpio, we are still feeling the Libra energy. So shout out to all the Libras out there, especially if you're born during this week and a little bit of last week. Then you are a cuspy baby. That means you are dealing with your Libra side and you are a Scorpio, okay? So look that up in your natal chart and you will see it. So anyway, so I'm going to be using the gold lyre, right? You know I had to break out the gold lyre, okay? Still some Libra energy in there. So I was like, oh, let me break her out right now. Let me get these Venus Libra cards out right now, the golden lyre card. I do have these on my Etsy site, so the link is below if you like these cards, because you know how you watching tarot card readers, you be like, ooh, where'd she get that from? And you be all in the chat and whatnot trying to figure out where the cards come from. So it's real easy, okay? You just click it and it's right there, and they're beautiful cards because they got the metallic gold on it and stuff. So anyway, let's get back to the story. So that's what's coming on. And then, you know, the neighborings are like Mercury, okay? Shout out to my Mercury people out there, which is hanging out in Libra, which is feeding a lot of that communication, trying to balance the communication, what to say, what not to say. And now we're in Scorpio season, and Libra, and Mercury moves pretty fast. So he will be showing up real soon with everybody. Like, hey y'all, what's going on over here? I heard Venus was over here. Hey Venus, what's going on? What's up, Scorp sun? What's up, Scorp moon? You know what I'm saying? And well, by that time, the moon will be in Sagittarius, but still, you know, Mercury be like, you know, they buddy with Jupiter and whatnot. So of course Mercury loud, so Mercury gonna be all between the houses talking. But anyway, because that's what Mercury do. So Mercury being in too. So, but we're in Scorpio season right now. And it's just a new moon. And if you are thinking about what you should say you say it now? Should you say it later or whatever? You know, just let it go for a moment. You know, I would let it go. Maybe, what's today? Yeah, so I would let it probably by like Sunday You know, it might be a good time. Saturday, Sunday might be by then you'll probably have an answer, or whether it's a good time to say something, you know, where more than you will know that, or just keep it to yourself because you need to work on some things. And, you know, maybe it's a attitude thing you got to work on, a mental thing you got to work on, emotional thing. But whatever it is you got to work on before you express that, go ahead and do that. It's okay to be quiet. Scorpionic energy is a very, people think they're mysterious, but no, they just stay down until it's time to come up, you know, and if you don't bother it, it's not going to bother you type thing. And it knows how to handle its emotions. Technically, I know y'all like, I know some Scorpios, I don't know, but yeah, but it's there for them to get if they're willing to improve on it. Like, they can be emotional regulators, you know, they're able to balance, you know, the emotions out and everything, and what makes sense and what not makes sense, you know. And just because they appear to be brave don't mean that they're not checking their emotions and checking other people's emotions. No, because they're water signs, so they deal, you know, with emotions. You know, if you ever been in love with a Scorpio, you know, okay, because they love deep. That means if you piss them off, they're gonna be pissed off deeply too. But the whole idea here is to stay down until you're ready to come up. You know, Scorpios, you know, that energy is very secretive. And we have to know it in Scorpio too. So it might be some past things that is coming up right now and maybe been lingering for a moment for you. And you just now, with this energy of bravery, you want to express it. You know, you want to express those dark things out. Hence Scorpio season. And I already told you, Venus is there and Mercury is ready to help you say it. You know what I'm saying? So, so with no problem. But at this point, you probably like, well, you know, maybe you value that friendship or that relationship or that job or whatever situation or circumstances that we're talking about here, and you don't want to, you know, burn any bridges or F it up in any kind of way. So you're like, should I not? Yeah, hold it. Just, I don't even know, hold it. Just kind of let it go, because it is the new moon, so you want to be new and be light about things. So just put it on, you know, put it on the shelf, or what they say, or put it on the back burner or something, and just, or in the freezer, depending on how hot or cold. So if you're hot, you may need to put it in the freezer to cool it down. If it's too cold, you may need to, you know, warm it up a little bit, loosen it up, right? So you can be working that out over the past next 5 days or something like that, you know, 4 to 5 days. And then by that time, you should be stable enough and well aware of the situation to know how to do it. And this is without thinking. This is just you going about your day like, whatever, because it's bothering you. Just let it sit for a minute. You know, take it off your back, sit it down, walk away from it, do other things, you know, and then just based on what you're doing on a daily basis without thinking about it or feeling about it, you'll get the answer. It'll be like, oh, okay. Yep, this is the, yep. But wait, because the new moon is here and it is, you know, conjunct to the sun. So just hold up a little, because Scorpio energy is nothing to be played with, okay? You can get burned, stung, put to death, all that kind of stuff. And speaking of put to death, let's talk about what these cards are for. I'm always talking about the alignments and things, but that's important, right? So that's actually more important than the cards. The cards just add, you know, color, flavor, an image, you know, it's easy to get across when you see a picture, when you're dealing with, you know, humans and stuff like that. You think, right, and it carries its own energy too, so it can, you know, be like a little, you know, sprinkles and stuff. Everything's already set, but it just adds a little, you know, type of thing to it. So anyway, so here's the reading. The reading is about dead dad to birth this. So dead dad to birth this. Hold on, I'm just going to, okay, a card just popped out before I started, so I just want to get a pre of what's going on. Okay, so just oh gosh, I should have just let y'all see it. God dang it. Hold on a second. Y'all know I'm Mercurial. I'll be moving fast sometimes, and then it'd be like, nope, stop right there. But anyway, so I don't waste time, because I don't want to cut this video into a part 2. But soon, hopefully soon, I can go live. I haven't even looked up what the number of people that got subscribed or whatever to get it. But when I do, that's when I'll start going live, because then, you know, nothing won't get cut off. All right, so this card came out, and when you do like any kind of energy work or whatever, you really have to acknowledge things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to skip this because Mercury, I had to see. You know what I'm saying? I had to see. So this is just a pre-card that came out. I wanted to show to all of y'all, no matter what zodiac sign, is the strength card, the number 8. And how ironic, because Scorpio is in the 8th house, or came out of the 8th house. Okay, so strength. So whatever comes out with what you need to dead in order to birth, you know what I mean? Just keep in the back of your mind that the bottom underlying layer is half strength. Half strength, and within time, you will see, you know, how far you have come. You will see your strength, but just know now to have strength. Know that you have strength. Gain some strength, some courage. Even if you don't, tell yourself every day. Put that in your affirmations and your mantras that you are strength. You know what I mean? You can do this. You can continue what's about to happen when you have to dead something. Okay? So this reading might get a little tough for some people, because with that strength card, you might have to, you know, not be so emotional. Not emotional, but don't be so bit up about what I'm gonna say about your card, you know, what you have to dead, you know, because when you have to kill something, sometimes killing things could be like, you know, emotional. Think about people who have to put their pets to sleep and stuff like that, but they had to do a Libra thing, right? They had to balance, okay, the benefits, okay, and, you know, the non-benefits, you know, is this more helpful or this is more harmful? And they have to think about everybody, not only the pet, but themselves, the family, if they don't have relatives in the house. The neighbors might be in love with their animal. Well, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. So that's just the bottom line of that. So we're gonna start with Scorpios first, because everybody's in Scorpio right now. You know, it's like a party in the Scorpio. There's a party in the 8th house right now. So it must be a lot of strength going on with the moon being there, the sun being there, the North Node being there, and Venus being there, and Mercury is about to slide up in there as well. So dead that to birth this. All right, have a wonderful day and night. What's up, proud Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants? This is your tarot card reading for the new moon in Scorpio during Scorpio season, right? So this reading is about what you need to put to death. So dead that in order to birth this. So for you, Aries, you have to dead that feeling of lacking, like you're missing something, like you're lacking something. You're not whole unless you have this. You're not complete unless you have that. You know, that type of feeling. Woe is me because I can't do this without this particular thing, or yada, 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 yada. And it might come up often because it wanted to show itself. For sure, it wanted to show itself. So this card wanted to come out, and so this means that it's a daily basis that you're thinking about it, or whether it's not, you're thinking about it. That feeling of lacking, that feeling of you're depleted in some area, whether it's a person, place, or thing. There's a depletion somewhere, and you need ... in order to, you know, feel, you know, prosperous, or free, you know, not worrying anymore, like, okay, yeah, just it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But the 5 of Pentacles is basically telling you that you have to pretty much shine your own light, you know, on yourself. Like, you have to be inspired to be whole, you know, no matter if, I mean, it might make your life easier if you had whatever you're lacking, but your journey at this moment is not calling for you to have it at this moment, you know, and for whatever reason, you will know in the future, because time tells everything, you know what I'm saying? You will know in the future why at this particular moment, whatever you felt like you lacked or you needed, why you didn't have it at this time. So take a look at that. Even go back into your, take a look back in your past and think about the times that you felt lack of, whether, you felt lack of a personality, lack of, just anything, lack of blah, 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 like really, and a lack of money, lack of whatever. Just look back and just see the journey and what was going on. And now that you look back at it, what you have learned, maybe it was lack of a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you know what I mean? And now that you look back at it, like, thank goodness I didn't go out with that person, or I didn't marry that person, or I didn't, you know what I'm talking about. I didn't have relations with that person. I didn't blah, 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 blah. Or thank goodness I thought I wanted, I'm a lack of a good place to live, let's say. Then it's like, okay, and you had your mind set on something else, but then you found out some news that is like, wow, it was better that I was in the place that I was instead of moving on, because now, I can see, what transpired. So use that as a tool to remind yourself, use your past as a tool to remind yourself that you will see why you don't have those things in your life right now. And in a lot of cases, all cases actually, we're here to learn. So there's something that you have to learn, first, or something you have to get first, or something that you just have to go through because it's a journey. But when you come through that journey, with that lack of, or what you thought you had a lack of, you will see, oh my gosh, I became more stronger, more confident, more like, you know what I'm saying, more I'm whole and healthier, and my mind is great, you know what I'm saying, like, because I know I could do it, because I was there before when I thought I couldn't, because I was lacking this, but then now, right, so you're going to prove yourself, and you're going to shine so bright to yourself, you're going to be like, wow, okay. So with the Five of Pentacles, there is a key to understanding where you fit in. Sometimes your insecurities can lock you out. Maybe you don't feel like you belong at this table. Maybe you don't feel like you are worthy to have $1 billion company. Whatever it is. I'm just gonna reset this. I have a timer, so I'm trying to keep the videos under an hour so they don't be like a part 2 and things like that and confuse people. So if you feel that you don't belong, it could be due to a lack of security, and it could be in any situation, right? We all belong to each other. We all share the same space, the same energy. We all living up under the sun, right? We're all neighbors. So it's our sense of insecurity that we must first reconcile. We must unprogram, okay, the conditioning that had made us feel small. So if you're feeling inadequate with anything, I don't care what it is, and you'll be surprised with people inadequacy. Sometimes people really open up and tell you, how they feel, what makes them feel small and insecure. You'll be surprised. You'll be like, I didn't even know that. What? Huh? Because all this time they learned how to perfect masking it and overdoing things to compensate for that and this, that, and the other, so it can feel more complete and feel more whole. But in reality, no, it's just a cover up so that, you don't feel no type of way about this person's insecurities, and they ain't got to hear how you feel about them, even though social media is just, it's tearing up people's insecurities. But anyway, so whatever it is in your life, you need to unprogram that. Unprogram those thoughts. Unprogram. It could be that you grew up a certain way, and you don't know no other way but that way. But it might be something that maybe your parents, I'm just gonna get something simple. They only could afford this type of bread, the cheap bread, right? And now that you can afford fresh baked bread, that slice for you. You can choose, you know, what the taste. You can even taste it before you buy it. It can actually be a loaf that's warm. You know, you can see it made in front of your eyes. You can have seeds in it. You can put nuts in it. You can have garlic on it. But you can have an inch cheese on it. All kind of things that the baker would do. But because you've been programmed to get this 89-cent loaf of bread, right? Well, now it's probably what? Because inflation, I don't know. An 89-cent bread is probably like $1, no more than $2 now. And you got $1 trillion, and you found out that on the news that this bread is unhealthy for you because it got that in it, right? But you continue to eat the bread, even though, because you've been programmed through all your life, because that's the only thing they can afford. It's not like they didn't want to buy something else, but to make ends meet, they had to get the $2 bread, because maybe somebody's going through a growth spurt and they know that loaf of bread is going to be gone within the next 24 hours. So if they know they got to be back the next day, let me get the cheap bread so that the people in the household can survive, right? But here you are, got all this money, and you could choose something else, but decide to stay with that same thing because you programmed it. That's just a petty example, but you get what I'm talking about. There's more to it. You know, there's more, you know, to your life than what you've been programmed to believe it is. Some teachers tell the kids in kindergarten, first grade, that they ain't gonna be nothing. You might be 40 years old and still holding on to that. You know what I mean? I mean, them little things that the programming is crazy. It can even be just social media. Forget social media. It could just be whatever's on regular TV. Forget that. It could just be, you know, whatever was told for you in your household. You know how many people got scars from their siblings calling them fat or calling them ugly, or somebody that they really cared, loved, and deeply, or crushed, or something, says something about them. Do you know that these people probably married now and still have an insecurity from some first love that they fell in love with in the 5th grade? You know what I'm saying? Like, it get that crazy when it comes to programming. So I ain't even start the timer, but I ain't even stand it this long. But definitely, you want to dead the feeling of the lacking. And by deading that, you're going to birth into spiritual prosperity, okay? And once you're spiritually prosperous, everything's taken care of. There is no lack of, okay? There is no lack of, right? So, dead the lacking feeling, right? Which is killing some of those programs. Get rid of some of them chips that's been programmed inside you. If you could physically do it, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Get rid of it. But what I'm talking about is thoughts and emotions, right? Same way. Get rid of it, right? And be birthed, the phoenix rising, birth into your spiritual prosperity during the Scorpio new moon, during Scorpio season, okay? Have a wonderful day and night, Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, and Mars during the Scorpio.